Okay, so some people had some trouble with number 7, so I thought that I would do a little video to explain how to do this one. So the first thing that we want to do is separate the variables, but to separate these variables it's a little bit difficult because there's this addition. So
Addition is easy.
you can translate this addition in the exponent to multiplication like this. I'm using the properties of exponents. That was that hint that I gave you. Now you have to separate the variables. So you end up with dy. If you divide by e to the y, you could really write that as e to the negative y. And then you're left with cosine of x times e to the sine of x dx. Now you got to integrate both sides. When you integrate this side, if you want to think about this with the u substitution, you can. U could be negative y. Emily, is that too small? Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, du would be negative dy. So you're going to need a negative on the outside. So the integral of this, it's going to be negative the integral of e to the u. And the integral of that will be negative e to the u, sorry. So I'm just going to rewrite this as negative e to the u. But my u was negative y. You're also going to need a u substitution here. U would be sine of x. Du will be cosine of x dx. So this can get rewritten as e to the u du also. And the integral of e to the u is just e to the u. But here my u is sine of x plus c. So now there's 3 things that we got to kind of consider. 1, find c. 2, solve for y. And 3, state the domain. So we should do them in that order. So let's find c first. So if you plug 0 in, negative e to the negative 0 equals e to the sine of 0 plus c. This comes out to be negative 1. This comes out to be 1. Therefore, c is negative 2. So I'm going to kind of bring that back up here and rewrite this as c is negative 2. So we've done that one. Now we have to solve this for y. So in order to solve it for y, I'm going to want to get this y alone. I have to take the ln of both sides, but I can't do that with this negative here if I'm going to get this ln and e to cancel. So I have to multiply everything by negative 1, which essentially will switch the order of them. If you need to write that out, then do it in a couple steps. And then you're going to take the ln of both sides. The ln of e to the something is just that something. And here, this doesn't simplify. It's just the ln of 2 minus e to the sine of x. And now the only other thing that you have to do is multiply by this negative 1. So you have the the negative ln of 2 minus e to the sine of x. The domain of this one is more complicated than we're really ready to deal with, actually. So let's just forget about that for this one. So we're going to leave it here. All right, you can hit stop in.